Hello, welcome back to Ofin River Forum. And once again, my name is Bernard Ishibantin in Atlanta, Georgia. And as I started in all my presentations, if you haven't subscribed, this is the time to subscribe. Let friends and family knows how informative this particular forum is. Share, let your friends know. You just look at the right upper corner of your screen of your cell phone, wherever, and you see the red, button that says subscribe. You don't pay nothing. You just hit it. So anytime, I upload any video, you be the first to get it. And trust me, there may be, if you may not like this particular presentation, there's a lot of things I talk about, because like I said, Ofin River Forum is unscripted forum. I don't write anything down, and I talk about issues unfolding or going on around the world. Socioeconomic issue, sometimes I can talk about abortion, right? In America, I can talk about gun rights or gun regulation or gun possession. I can talk about all kind of issues, regional, African region. I can talk about Asia. I can talk about America, where I live. I talk about, issues of national or international importance. So you may find something you like. So I talk about everything. So once again, let me repeat. This is Ofin River Forum. Just Google Ofin River Forum, and you see the red bottom on the right upper corner. You just hit it, click it, and that's it. You subscribe, and that's all it is. You don't have to pay a penny, anything. And every video I upload here, you'll be the first person, or you be special. So subscribe, share with your friend and family, and let them know you have found a forum that is very, very informative. Talk about issues. I try to break things down, in such a way that everybody, will understand me. I don't want to stay here and pretend, present any aristocratic pretensions as if, I know everything. No, that is not what we're doing here. And everything I say, I don't claim that I know everything, but I speak from my perspective, from my own point of view, from my experience. What I know, what I've studied, what I've learned, the comparative analysis I've made. And that is what makes me come to a little conclusion I come here. So today's discussion will be about if we want something to blame for African underdevelopment. In other words, why Africa as a continent lags behind that of the Western nations. Why almost everybody, people are killing themselves, drowning in the sea to come to Europe or to come to the Western nation. Why? But why is it that our people from Western nation are not crumbling or dying to come to Africa or to come to any of the developing countries, but the other way around? Why is it that Africa lagging behind that in such a way we lack so many things, even though, according to some statistics, Africa is fast developing, but still, it's not like it's not comparable to that of the Western age. So the question is, why is Africa, has become something like a problem child of the developed world? When we talk about Africa, it seems like Africa is a problem, child, where we always have to find a way to straighten them up, to put them in line, to check, trying to keep them in line, to make them do the right thing. Well, why is that? And so we hear this story all the time. So the question again, the discussion today is that blame many African cultural practices. If we want something to blame, we don't blame the white people done this and that and that. Let us blame many of the African cultural practices for the continent of Africans underdevelopment. I say, from my perspective, if we want something to blame for Africa slow-paced development, I would say, let us blame our cultural practices. And so many of our cultural practices is what is bringing Africa down or keeping Africa behind. We hear this story all the time. This line is all too familiar story that Africa is blessed or endowed with all vast natural resources. How many times we don't hear this? Africans, say I was born in Ghana, so let me use Ghana as a case study, as an example, because if you look at Ghana, a lot of things going on with development-wise, the way we rule, the way the leaders rule the country, and all kind of stuff going on in Ghana. Pretty much reflect that of Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Togo. Most of the majority of the African countries seem like the way and the development going on in Ghana, pretty much, even though statistically there may be some differences, nuances, but still it reflects pretty much about what is going. So I would basically use Ghana as a point of reference because I was born there and I know a little bit more there. And I can say that the reason the continent of Africa, based on my experience in Ghana and from a lot of things I know about Nigeria, friends I talk to, Nigerians and wherever, a lot of stories and a lot of things I read about Nigeria and Ghana, Sierra Leone, Liberia, is because of our cultural practices, many of them. And when I say cultural, think about it. Culture, when I say cultural practices, the reason we get cultural practices is our culture. And what is culture? When we talk about culture, I'm not talking about our kinship, the kingdom, carrying somebody on the shoulders or head, a king, or installing somebody as a king, or let somebody naming a child, attending a funeral, or that kind of going to church, and that is part of it. But when I say cultural practices, let me first define culture. So if I explain culture a little bit, then we probably will understand why I was talking about blaming cultural practices on. So culture simply means way of life, the way you live your life, wherever you are individually and collectively, the way a particular country, say Ghana or America or say China, the way people, because people are part of the culture, the way people in the society is also a culture. You see, so culture is very, very broad. So when we talk about culture, basically we're not talking about, like I said, marriage, traditional marriage or wedding, wherever. That's not only what culture, or the way we sing, our songs, art, right? All kind of stuff. So culture constitute, social institutions like say Department of Works and Housing, or Urban Roads and Development, Foreign Ministry. All those are part of our culture. So those social or civil institutions are part of the culture. So the people, and even our education, universities, high schools, senior secondary schools, and elementary school, middle school, all kind of intellectual activities are part of a culture. So culture is so that is what it is. Cultural practices, many of our cultural practices, are what is bringing Africa behind. Because listen to this, from a practical point of view, I've taught at the university level in the United States here for about 9 years. I've taught white, black, and I still do, Asian, Jamaicans, Brazilian, Hispanics, Mexicans, all kind of people, Chinese, all kind of people. I've taught all kind of people. But intellectual, I grade their papers. I observe them in classroom. They are all human beings. They're just like people in Ghana, people from Nigeria, people from Liberia, but how come that after all is said and that they finish college and they start working, go to their various countries, you look at China, look at where China is. China is the only country, China, listen to this, is the only country that has been able to develop, have ever risen to a superpower status within 60 to 70 years. No country. United States, it took United States more than 150 years to get where it is today. China within 60 years. Why? Why? Because of their cultural practice, because of certain things, self-discipline. And when I talk about self-discipline, I mean that, ability to say, hey, there's certain things I have to do no matter what, people don't want me to do, but I think this is the right thing to do to make my country or to make my environment, my community better. It's part of the self-discipline. Say, if I have to go to work at 9 o'clock, that is the time I have to be at work. I have to be at work at 9. I get off at 5. It's not like I go to work and I'm using a company car or company unauthorized, using company computer to do my homework or to do things that I'm not. So those are part of the sense. In the United States here, yes, I'm not saying everybody, all human beings living in Western countries are superior in terms of their character or their habits or attitude. But guess what? If I can say for sure, and I know a lot of people will agree with me that if you put 10 Americans here and you put 10 Africans or Ghanaians here, I can tell you that you can find in Americans, you can find about, say, 7 of them. 7 of them will be self-disciplined, or they have a very positive, the way they want their country to develop. They have that kind of patriotic sentiment towards their country far better than Ghanaians, because guess what? A lot of people from Ghana or Nigeria, including me, Liberia, they want to go to school, college. They finish college, they want to get a government job. And the government job, they go there, it's not that they're going to serve. They don't see the job as a public service, but they see it as a private where they can make money. Because guess what? The social pressure, the cultural pressure, see, that is what the cultural pressure from the family, that when you get a job, you go to college, we spend money to send you to college, you get a government job, do whatever you can do, whatever means necessary to make money, so you can come and build house for the family. So when everybody go to job, go and get a government job, it's where they try to go and get money to be. You see, this is part of the cultural practices I'm talking about. See, and so all these form part of the attitude. See, our attitude towards our society, our habits, our values. What are our values? What your values is what? Go and get a government job and be corrupt as much as you can, make money, build 3 or 4 houses and say, hey, you have really, really accomplished something in life. Because say, for example, where I was born in Ghana, if you're able to build a house or if you own a house, that is how people look at you, that you have accomplished something. It doesn't matter you have PhD, you have written all kind of books for student kids to read till the end of time. It's not really an accomplishment that much, as opposed to somebody who has built 10 or 20 houses. And so people see, one of the cultural practices I'm talking about, people in Ghana or say in Nigeria, Liberia, people don't, follow the building codes. As long as you have money, you can influence the institutions, say the housing institution or wherever, and you can build a house anywhere. So you build a house where it's supposed to be a what? A gutter. It's supposed to be where, they should dig a gutter where runoff water can go through. And here, people have built houses. So when it rains and there's flooding everywhere, now they point at the government. See? And they're trying to compare it to United States, that United States system is working in United States. Yes, the system is made up of parts. And the people, we the citizens are part of the system. So yes, leadership should show, that they are the leaders should show, leadership, accurate and very, very pragmatic leadership. But the people is also part of the system. So when we talk about a system of a country, or this country system works, the system works because the people, the citizens, want the system to work. Because think about the human body. Human body is supposed to be a system, or a car engine. A car engine is a system. It's made up of what? Pistols, carburetor, all kind of stuff. So if one of them is not working well, the car will be more functioning. So that is our society. People should look at it. So when you sit there and say the system works in, say, United States or in Britain, it's because system is made up of what? A set of parts. And each of them contribute to make the system work. So if, say, the leaders are doing what they're supposed to do, and the people are not doing what they're supposed to do, the police stop you, look left and right and take a bribe. Or a person who have committed an offense, trying to solicit, trying to give a policeman, trying to bribe a policeman so he or she can get away with it. You see, you are not playing part of the system. You are not playing your part of the system. So you turn around to be hypocritical and say the system works somewhere in the advanced countries, but in Africa or in Ghana or in Syria or Nigeria, the system doesn't work. Who do you think you're kidding? System is made up of parts. You see, it's a collection of parts. And all the parts have to come together for the system to work. That is why China is working, because the parts work. If you commit an offense and you are arrested, they put you in jail. Nobody will sit somewhere and call people and make press conference and say there's a witch hunting going on here, so you can't prosecute corruption, because if you do that, it's a form of witch hunting. And so if all this kind of attitude come together, you see, it doesn't make a country works. So that is why Africa, briefly, that's why Africa is not our attitude. Attitude means our habit, the way we do things, our way of life, how we don't care about doing things. You can stand anywhere and just pee in the street, throw trash everywhere. Police stop you, then you say, hey, I'm related to this big man or king or wherever in this society, and you call the person, and then, hey, that also can call police, and then you get released. No prosecution taken. People taking bribe here and there. All these are part of the bad cultural practices that is bringing a country or African continent down. So for me, if you want to ask me why Africa is what it is, it's because of our cultural practices. Because when it comes to intellectual abilities, we have a lot of African people who have attended all kind of Ivy League, all kind of universities in the United States, Britain, Canada, Australia, everywhere. And so we don't have a problem with that. And I have observed students, white, black, yellow, in a classroom at the college level. None of them are intellectually superior than anybody. White, black, yellow, or whatever. Nobody is superior or intellectual. But why is it that their country is right here and African continent or African countries are down here? It's because of our habit, because of our nasty attitude, because of our unpatriotic behavior, the way we do things. And so, before I end, let me say this. Culture is just like a computer software. You can buy the computer, but if you don't have a software, a right software, the computer cannot operate. So that is how you have to look at it. Culture is just like a computer software. Macro software is just like our cell phone apps, right? If you don't have the right apps, there's a lot of things. You can't even send money, mobile money or whatever. You need an app. So culture is the app. Yeah, you have the cell phone, but you need some apps. So the apps, the right apps, are the culture. So these are the things that are bringing Africa or Ghana, African countries down. That is what it is, nothing else. So I'll talk to you another time, and have a great day.